Welcome back to another edition of Nonprofit Nerds. I am your host, Josh Hirsch, and with me, as always, the fabulous Julia Campbell. Hey,
hi, everybody. Hi, guys. So excited to be here. I know I say guys again. It's fine. I'm just need like a dog collar that shocks me every time I say that. Hello, everyone. Really excited that you're joining us here today. I know it's been a long time. A lot of you we probably met along the way as we did our, little jaunt across the United States. We were in Portland for the Nonprofit Technology Conference, which was amazing. And we also were in San Antonio for the Association of Fundraising Professionals International Conference, and many other places in between. But today, what we want to talk about, we want to do our presentation that we gave at NTC. And if you don't know who we are, and this is your first time watching a Facebook Live with us, welcome. I am Julia Campbell, and this is my Facebook page. And what I do, I help organizations build their movements and engage their communities using digital tools and social media. And this is Josh Hirsch. He's the Director of Mission and Communication at Susan G. Komen, Florida, and overall tech and tools guru. So he's like the go-to. Also, I'm not allowed to touch anything right now because Josh spent like half an hour setting this up, and every time I touch my computer, it dies.
You'll break it. Don't break it.
I break things. So I'm going to be watching, trying to manage your comments and questions. Josh will be managing them as well. From my phone, which now appears to have also crashed. So
that's okay. We see that our friend Jim Wells is joining
Friday.
us. Hi, Jim from Fort Lauderdale. Nice to see that you
Jim. Jim, I can't believe that I took my whole family to Fort Lauderdale and they didn't get to meet you. But we were really only in Fort Lauderdale for like one night or 5 minutes. But we took an amazing trip to the Keys, and I love Florida. And my son actually this morning, it's honest to God, since we got back, has been 50 or 45 degrees and rainy every single day since I got back, and I'm really not exaggerating. I don't know what's going on here. So my son this morning said that he wants to go back to Florida. It's like, I want to move back to Florida.
We live in Sandals 365 days a year. How can you beat it?
Yeah, I know. We know. Don't rub it in. But Jim, thanks for joining us.
If you're
and
tuning
everybody
in,
else that's joining us.
Yeah, if you're tuning in, drop it in the comments where you're watching from. We know we got friends all over the country and all over the world, so let us Nonprofit Nerds where you're watching today from.
Yes, we've had people from Kenya, we've had people from South Africa, we've had people from all over the world, really, and definitely all over the United States. So let us know where you're watching from. If you have any questions, let us know. I'm happy also to send the slides out after. We have an ebook for you that we'll share out the link that have even more tips and tricks. But I can't actually see the slides, so I'm just going to let you go ahead, Josh, and I'll just riff on what they are.
We've got Becky joining us from Michigan. We have Carolyn joining us from Guatemala. We have Gail joining us from Cambridge, Mass, right near you there, Julia. We've got Courtney from Austin, Texas. Dominique from Georgia. Sophie from State College, PA. We got the Vermont Youth Orchestra.
Ooh, Seattle. I'm going to be out in Seattle.
Hey, Jay, another fellow AFP member there.
Hi, Jay.
Nice to see you. So it's great. We have a wonderful representation today. This presentation that we put together for y'all is 10 Tucson, Mindy, what up? 10 simple ways to build your nonprofit email list. So this was a presentation that, as Julia mentioned, we presented out at the Nonprofit Technology Conference earlier this year in Portland, and it got rave reviews. It was a lot of fun to put together, and as you'll see, the theme of the presentation, everyone's jumping in here. We got Kentucky.
Ooh, Jennifer, you're from Greensboro. You should meet Chris Strubb. Maybe Chris Strubb will be on here too.
Yes,
he's from
Greensboro. No, it's Greenville, not Greenville. Greensboro.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, you got it wrong.
The South all bleeds together for me, right? I'm a snotty northerner.
All right, bit hard to hear, so I'll move the microphone closer. Hopefully that'll be a little easier for you all. I'll turn up my volume there, so hopefully that'll help some. All right, so the importance of pray you get a better mic. All right, so
I can hear you.
I can hear me fine.
I know. So Josh is we're having some technical difficulties, but that's the great thing about live video is that anything can happen and anything will happen. And when we gave this presentation to the Nonprofit Technology Conference, it was the first time that they had these 30-minute quick and dirty tactical sessions. So, if you go to a conference, a lot of the breakout sessions are an hour and a half. A lot of them are really hands-on participatory workshops, but this was part of a new track that they were introducing. And then I just thought it would be absolutely perfect for a Facebook Live. The problem is that I really wish that we could get all the animation from Josh's amazing slides that he spent hours working on. So, of course, the conference was in Portland, so we had to do a Goonies theme.
Exactly.
So we can talk about that.
But more so than just the theme of the presentation, it was important for us, because in the room, and today on the call, we have people from all over the country and all over the world watching. I can talk to you about how it works for Susan G. Komen, which is we're a breast cancer foundation, but you might be working in healthcare, you might be working in education, you might be working in animal rescue. And by me showing the example for my specific organization isn't necessarily going to help for you to understand the concept. So for us today, it's more important to get the concept across, share the why, the how, and then what you can do with it. So all the examples are made up. As Julia said, this is in the world of Goonies, so you're hanging out in Astoria, Oregon in the early to mid-'80s, and you want to go on an adventure. And that's really what we're going to be showing to you all today. Mm-hmm. So we're going to bring this up now, and it's going to work.
And the importance of email cannot be understated. So, of course, Josh and I are the nonprofit social media nerds. We love social media. We geek out, watch the Facebook, developer conference and the Instagram donate button, literally made my whole week. I was so excited about it. But the importance of building your email list cannot be underestimated and understated, because as we know, we're renters. We rent land on social media. They can pull the rug out from under us at any time, as they are doing. I hate the new Facebook app. If you hate the new Facebook app, can you please say on Facebook that you hate it with me? Not that it matters, not that they're going to change anything, but they continually adapt and iterate and change the priorities of marketers, honestly, and it makes it harder to keep up, and it makes it harder to do our jobs. And also, we know we can't take our Facebook fans with us. We can't take our Twitter followers, we can't take our LinkedIn connections, we can't do anything with those. We don't own those connections that we've made and that we've spent hours and blood, sweat, and tears making. But our email list, we can bring with us anywhere. I mean, as long as it's permission based. I don't believe in purchasing emails. I don't believe in, spamming people, buying email lists, tricking people onto your email list. But if we're ethical and our email list is built and is permission based, then we have an asset that we can leverage, and we can bring with us across different platforms. If we're at Constant Contact or MailChimp or Luminate or Vertical Response, or I use ConvertKit, for example. So it's an asset that we can bring with us. Also, another advantage of email is that it is a much more intimate relationship that you have with someone on email. And so it doesn't sound like it's intimate, because we all think, oh, we hate our inboxes and our inboxes are overflowing. But think about inviting me into your inbox every week and reading my emails and really building a relationship where if I post on Facebook every single day, which I do, and I tweet multiple times a day, you may or may not even see any of that content unless you actively look for it, or unless you're actively engaging with me a lot of the time. So building nonprofit email lists still does need to be a priority of your organization. Also, I love the people watching from Lowell, Massachusetts. I'm going to be in Lowell next Thursday, the 9th, speaking to the Greater Lowell Development Group. So I hope you guys from Lowell can join me, because that's just serendipity. Yeah, just don't update the app, Crystal. I know. It automatically updated on my phone, which I was so annoyed about. But I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Josh.
Yeah, actually, our friend, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, Guru Karim, he said the news feed is basically going away. I heard on Marketplace Tech this morning that the very near future of Facebook is private and group messaging, not news. Absolutely. I think, if you didn't tune into the F8 conference this week, you would have seen that. That's really what they were focusing on. A lot was the need to go to sorry, I'm trying to add, there we go. The need to add these private groups, and it's the private groups, it's really where it's going to be built around the news feed. I noticed like automatically 90% of my news feed went to groups, and that's all the content I was seeing. Very little personal. So what does that mean for us as a brand? Because we're all talking from the nonprofit space. You need to be more active in groups yourself. We've noticed over the last 6 months, groups can now be entered in via a page, so you're not just coming in as a person, you're coming in as a brand. But it's the way as a brand communicating in that group. You don't want to come off in a salesy approach. That's what it should never be. Social media is always a conversation. So if I'm coming into a breast cancer support group as Komen, not as Josh, I want to be providing resources, not saying donate, donate, donate. And then the same respect, if I came in as Josh, I want to be having that same conversation along the way. So it's important to remember how you're talking within these groups.
Okay, and this is the conversation for a longer time. I'm actually writing a long blog post about what the future of Facebook looks like for nonprofit marketers. No one can really see, but just based on the announcements. So it's actually great timing to talk about building your email list, because we're all kind of sick of Facebook, Instagram, social media, but we're going to talk about ways that you can leverage social media channels and your website to actually get more people on your list.
And
all right.
I'm sorry, Guru Karan,
Let's start.
For calling you a he when you're she. I that's my bad. Sorry.
Oh, I
that.
can't even see that picture.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so let's get started. And we'll jump over here. So, as Julia said, I'm Josh. She's Julia. This is where you can find us online. I'm very active on Twitter, really talking about social media, nonprofits, fundraising is what you can see me tweeting. I also tweet, under at Komen, Florida, and there we're sharing resources about breast health awareness, breast cancer, and different resources around the state. And as Julia mentioned earlier, she's a digital fundraising storytelling master, and she travels the country and the world speaking. Just this year, she was in Russia, in Moscow, giving a...
well, that was last year, but yes.
Well, okay.
I'm hoping to go again.
It's I look at it as this year. It's all within the last 365 days.
That's right. That is true.
It was. So a unique tool that we're using today is you can follow along. We have a collaborative notes document. It's there on the screen right now. This was the same collaborative notes document that we used at NTC. So that's why you see the NTC in the URL there. Something unique that they do at the conference is they have not only just a conference hashtag, but a hashtag per session. So it's a really great way that you can categorize content. So when you want to go back afterwards, not only do you have the collaborative notes, but you can see the stream and social of all the different conversations going on around those hashtags. So within those collaborative notes are a lot of the resources that we're going to talk about today. All the examples of the tools that were used to create them, you can see in there.
Yes.
So the first one is a pop-up on your website. So we know that they can be annoying, these light boxes, as they're sometimes referred to, but they actually work. Believe it or not, they might be annoying, and there's a lot of times you want to X out. But in a previous organization, in the span of 6 months, I generated over 400 new leads. And these are warm leads that are people that are interested in your organization and the content that you have to share. So not only are you able to capture their email addresses because they want to, as you see here, go on an adventure with you, but you're then able to repurpose those email addresses for things like Facebook advertising. So you can come into Facebook ads, create a custom audience based upon this email address list that you have, and that way the ad dollars that you're spending on Facebook ads are even greater.
Yes.
What's important to remember, too, is that when you give someone this light box, this, here we're using HubSpot, which is a great free tool for email lead generation, is not to say subscribe. Sign up for my newsletter.
Nobody wants another email newsletter. No one does.
No, but if you give it something enticing, do you want to go on an adventure? Yeah, I'm ready for an adventure. Do you want to
stop breast cancer in our lifetime?
Yeah. What can I'm ready to do that. I want to step in. Do you want to provide drinking water to third world countries? Yes, I want to do that. It's giving that value proposition other than just signing up for a newsletter.
Absolutely. So with the email pop-ups that I have constructed and worked on with my clients, we've used a tool called Pippity for WordPress, and it should be in the collaborative document. I've also used ConvertKit, which directly syncs with my email list, and lead boxes. I know that Constant Contact and MailChimp both offer these options. They don't look maybe as nice. And the important thing to understand about these pop-ups is that you can customize them completely. So it doesn't have to be the first thing people see when they get to your website. You can customize them so that when people start, the mouse starts going up to the X to click away from your website. That's called exit intent, and you can customize the pop-up box to say, hey, before you go, just want to make sure we stay in touch. You can customize it once a person has been on your site for 10 seconds, 20 seconds. You can customize it in all different sorts of ways. The key here is not to be annoying people and manipulating them and guilting them to get on your list. It's inviting them to join you and join a community of like-minded people and get involved with a movement. Those are the kinds of light boxes and pop-up boxes, email sign-up boxes that I respond well to. Like, let's end malaria, let's do this, sign up, and you're going to get stories in your inbox, and you're going to get 10 ways to help end, I was just going to say malaria, because I actually just signed up for an email list for a malaria prevention website. So, okay, so let's go to number 2.
Absolutely, and to answer your question, Courtney, here on the screen we have the URL, the bit.ly/NTC list build. I also have posted it as a pinned comment in the Facebook stream, so you should be able to find it there later as well.
Yes.
All right, moving on. Next one is free download on your website.
Mm-hmm.
So, Julia, you want to take on this one?
Yeah, this is one that I do all the time. So my pop-ups, I don't customize them as well as I should. They pop up right when you get to my website, which I know can be annoying, but I'm offering something of value in exchange for your email address. So the way I've seen nonprofits use this is you could create a customizable toolkit. So I've worked with clients, we've created like a digital literacy toolkit for kids. Very simple, very basic. If you have any kind of curricula or worksheets or reports or presentations or PowerPoints or anything like that that you can give away to an interested person, offer them as a free download on your website in return for an email address. Other ways that I've seen it, I've seen websites that say, if you sign up today, we're going to send you 3 ways to start a food drive in your town. So it doesn't even have to be a download. It could just be an automated email that you send out. The key is offering something of value in exchange for the email address. And I actually have something for you today. It's how to build your email with your website and social media, and it actually expounds on this presentation. It covers everything that we talk about, and it goes 20 times further. It's an ebook for you, and it's an email list builder for me. So or Josh or I will put the link in the comments to that as an example of how to do it.
So she's actually preaching and practicing all in the same, which is
of.
unheard of. There's so many times. No,
it's pretty unheard of.
Too many times that I'll go and talk about best practices and all these great things I want to do, and then I come back to my own organization. It's like, well, if only I could actually do what I talk about. And it's not that I can't do what I talk about. A lot of times it's the technology that holds us up. We're, unfortunately tied to the systems that our organizations are either grandfathered into, or with like us, we're an affiliate of a national organization. So we all use the same technology. While in some respect that's great. So for reporting purposes, it's all universal, but there's a lot of hang-ups, and when we want to do more advanced things, like I would love to be able to do drip campaigns and all taking you down different funnels and silos depending on which way you actually come into our organization. The technology that we use doesn't make that as easy to automate. And automation is key because we're a team of -2 and you're wearing 18 hats at once. So you got to have to figure, all right, how can I prioritize my time? But you want to create that extra level of donor stewardship. And that's where automation comes in.
Yes. All right, let's go to number 3.
Next, Facebook contest. So this was a tool used called Heyo. Oh, thanks, Jim. That's really nice. I appreciate that comment. All right, so with Heyo here, once again, you want to provide value. It's not just send me a picture and you might win something, but it's about creating user-generated content. So I entered my information, and once again, we're about collecting the tools that we can use. So here's...
Oh, I love this one.
It's a free one.
Win dinner for 2 at the Lighthouse Lounge.
Exactly. Well, listen, who doesn't want to go to it? It's a summer place. It's just a summer place.
It's a summer place, right? It needs a little work, so a little paint job.
As long as you stay to the right, you'll be fine.
Yes.
But what's great about this one is that it's about user-generated content. So not only are you list building, but you're also able to take people and authentic, real content and then share that on your channels. Because it's one thing for me as the brand to say, hey, look at this great place to go for the summer. It's another when you have real people sharing their experiences in there. People listen to people. People don't listen to brands. So if I'm able to see someone else having a good time, I'm more likely to go check that out. Whenever I go somewhere, because I'm a nerd, I like to plan. I like to find out where can I go eat, what live music can I go see, and when are those really cool dive bars or tiki bars that I can check out. So what did I do for Planet Philanthropy, which is coming up here next month in June? I reached out to people. I went onto Google and started going that route and looking at what are the most unique and fun restaurants to check out, but then also went on social and started checking out various hashtags to see where I should be going with my friends when I'm up there for Planet Philanthropy. So I could go and find the restaurant themselves, and the restaurant could say, oh, we're awesome and this is great food. But if it's real people sharing their real experiences, then I know that it's something to value.
And with Facebook contests, when you're collecting emails, you are going to have to use a third-party platform. I'm wondering now if Facebook has even changed their terms of service because of recent privacy and data breaches, and especially with all of the changes coming to the newsfeed and the way people can market on Facebook. So what I recommend, and I'm happy to post whatever I find in the comments, is to really research the terms of service now and what are the rules, and make sure you don't violate them. But if you're using a third party like Heyo or Wishpond is another tool, Agora Pulse, they already know. They already have their I's dotted, their T's crossed. They have legal departments. So that's why I recommend going through a third party so you make sure that you are in accordance with Facebook law of the land, because it changes every day.
Every day. And
all right, let's...
And for those that are like, oh, I want to figure out the tricksy algorithm, how am I going to, game the algorithm?
Well, we can't talk about... Oh, my God, that's another 45-minute conversation. We can't game the algorithm.
Don't think there's like a silver bullet to game the algorithm, because that's not the case. What's the trick, and that I find, is data. Look at your analytics. I mean, rely upon your Facebook insights and see what's working. You need to be constantly testing things out, testing type of content, testing time of day you're posting, testing what day you're posting. One thing that we might think is a great piece might not, perform as well as another. So just the other day, last week, we had our Giving Day here in Palm Beach County. And for me, it was mission focused. I didn't want to raise any money that day. I know, unheard of. It's a Giving Day. Who doesn't want to raise money? But I took it as, all right, I'm going to have hundreds of thousands of eyeballs using this hashtag and looking and seeing what people are talking about, the Great Give, for 24 hours. And obviously leading up to that, how can I maximize that for my purpose, which is mission-driven content, talking about how can Komen, Florida help women and men going through breast cancer, and not only the survivors, but also the co-survivors and those who are battling metastatic breast cancer. So all day long, it was mission-driven content, various facts and different figures and all nice graphics, but it was the one post. One post performed the best that day, and it was a woman in her early 30s in the hospital with a gown on and was getting ready to go into surgery. That post performed better than everything else. I didn't, and once again, it's the type of content. So while we might think something is great, it's looking at your analytics. It's looking at that type of content that's going to drive your content strategy to not game the algorithm, but post quality content that people want. Sorry, tangent. I apologize. Next one.
I see we have questions, but I want to save them to the end because we haven't even gone to number 4 yet, and we're at 12:25.
Sorry, so we'll move along. The next one is social cards. So these are a lot of fun. I like social cards because it's a way for you to create custom...
Good looking. Like, it looks great.
Well, exactly. So a lot of times that you'll have a URL on your site that you want to share, and it doesn't populate properly in the preview. So using a tool called AnyImage, and once again, all these tools are in that list build collaborative notes document. So anyimage.org, and every tool that we're sharing is free. They might have some premium features, but for us, it's important to share free content. So here's Irving Walsh. This is Mikey's dad, and as we know, he works at the Captain George Flavel House, which is a museum there. And with this social card, you can click on that, and then it takes you to a custom URL for where I want you to go. So you're able to customize the heading, which is this area down here. You can customize the descriptor, and then customize the URL. Really, really great tool, free, awesome. You know, if you're going to drive people off of Facebook, and obviously Facebook doesn't want that, but this tool is good for LinkedIn, it's good for Twitter, it's good for Facebook, to create that custom social card and bring you off somewhere else.
Yeah, and on Twitter, when you create a Twitter card, you can just click in one click to sign up for someone's email list. So you don't even have to go to a form and fill it out and have to worry about that. You can just click sign up, and Twitter will pull the address that you've used for Twitter. But yeah, this is just a great tool. So it's anyimage.io, but it's all in the collaborative doc.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on to our next one. And next one is YouTube. I'll let you handle this one there, Julia.
Oh, YouTube videos. So YouTube is it's just a fantastic channel to leverage if you have any kind of video content. So of course, there's a strategy, and there are, there's specific best practices that work on YouTube. But if you don't have the time or capacity to create a full YouTube strategy, don't worry about it. I would just upload your videos to YouTube, whatever video content you have. If you have anything from Facebook or from Twitter, even if you have Instagram story highlights, I've seen people download their entire highlight and put it on YouTube, even though it's vertical, and YouTube tends, you want YouTube videos to be horizontal. But still, use that platform. It's the number 2 search engine in the world, owned by the number 1 search engine, and people are searching. So what you want to do to build your email list on YouTube, first of all, you want to sign up for Google for Nonprofits completely free, and make sure you're registered and verified with Google. Then you can enter the YouTube for Nonprofits program, and then you can get a clickable hyperlink on top of your video that says join the movement, that says whatever that language is that you've come up with and you've created. Get updates, make sure that you never miss make sure you never miss a video from us. So you can put that physically over your YouTube video, and people can click on it and sign up. If you don't do that, what you could do right now is ask people to sign up for your email list in the caption, because on YouTube there are clickable links within the caption. So what I've seen, a best practice is to say, if you would like to join our movement and learn how to end breast cancer, or what's the tagline? Cut breast cancer deaths by 50%.
Right, yes. Our bold goal is to end breast cancer deaths by 50% by the year 2026.
So if you want to keep updated with our goal, if you want to get updates, if you want to stay connected, if you want to learn more about this cause and this issue, sign up now. So you can put a clickable link in all of the captions of your YouTube videos. So what I'm encouraging you to do is just create this mindset that anywhere you're communicating with people, you should be strategically trying to build your list on the back end. Okay, and That's all I have for YouTube.
That's perfect. Next one, LinkedIn. A lot of people don't see LinkedIn really as a way to generate content and generate leads, but it is. I use it personally for a lot of donor prospecting as well as board member prospecting. But in here, in the LinkedIn contact area, so this is basically the best place that you can get that call to action, and then use shortened URLs. So here we use Linktree, which is a really great tool that's tied with Instagram, and we'll talk about that in a second. So you have link in bio. Linktree allows you to create a custom landing page where you can have a call to action where you can have them go to different URLs. So that's a really, really, once again, free tool that not only One-Eyed Willie can use, but you can use yourself.
Absolutely. And on LinkedIn, I use my summary very strategically. So you can use your LinkedIn company page or you can use your LinkedIn personal profile and add a sign-up link to your LinkedIn profile. So for me, I offer the free download. So I offer a free chapter of my book, Storytelling in the Digital Age. And I say, if you want to get a free book, if you want to learn more about what I do, feel free to click here, because that's often one of the first touch points that people have with me, social media channels. So they're the perfect place to sort of say, okay, now you've gotten to know me a little bit, you've read my LinkedIn profile, maybe you've seen some of my updates. If you want to go a little bit deeper, sign up here.
Awesome.
Good.
Let's move on.
All right, and Sophie, I see your question, and we'll answer it. And if any of you have questions, make sure you throw them in there. Yeah, and we'll take some time after.
We'll come back at the end. So as we were saying before, on IG, on Willie's bio, as we know, the only place on Instagram that you can actually have a clickable URL is in the bio. So this is gold. This area is where you
stories.
Or sorry, yes, and
you have to have
10,000. And if you have more than 10,000, you can swipe up. And you have more benefits that way. But assuming that you're just like Willie and you only have 512 followers, you need to take advantage of this real estate here. So, as I said before, Linktree is a really great free one. People also use link in bio. I just like this because you have a lot more customization ability on the actual landing page and where you want to drive them. So
yes. So Instagram is another really great place that you can share that call to action. Definitely send me somewhere in your bio that's not your homepage. That's all I implore of you. Whether or not you ask me to sign up for your email list or you want me to make a donation, just don't send me to your homepage. It's such wasted real estate because I don't know what to do when I get to your homepage. What do I do? What's the most important thing that you want me to take? And you can change your bio at any time. You can change it 5 times a day. So if you're promoting an event, if you're promoting a campaign, if you are promoting some kind of advocacy action, you want that right in your bio because that is the clickable link for most of us, unless you purchase Instagram ads or unless you have over 10,000 followers and you can put the swipe up on your Instagram story. So I'm on a mission to just make Instagram more usable, more effective for organizations.
No, but you hit it on the point there. It's about where you're driving them. So once you have someone actually click on a link, I'm going to reinforce this. Don't send them to their homepage because, as Julia said, I don't know what you want to do. You already have me intrigued. The same thing with the donate button. If you have a donate button either on your website or on a third-party site or in a social ad or somewhere, don't take me to your general donation page.
Oh my God,
you already have me hooked. They say that each time that someone has to click a button, I think it decreases by 50% that the conversion is actually made for that donation. So if you have a donation button anywhere on your site or on a third party or somewhere else, take me to your giving form. Not only are you going to take me to a giving form, you're going to take me to a stripped-down giving form that doesn't have any menu bars, that doesn't have any distraction. It literally just has the place where you can give money. And to answer to your point, Crystal, it doesn't matter if you have questions that are related to this or not. Just drop them in there. We'd be happy to answer them, and we'll come back to them at the end. So as I was saying, click the button, take me to the conversion. Don't take me somewhere else. Don't make me hunt for what you want me to do.
Exactly. All right, good. Moving right along.
Moving right on. Text to join. So text to join is fun. There are some free tools out there that can allow you to do this. With this one,
are they free?
Free.
Well, I don't know if they're free.
Well, no.
Which ones?
Well, so Give Lively is a tool that is free. It's a free giving platform. It's free giving donation forms. I think it's free peer-to-peer. It's free text to give. So with this one, and you can actually text, if people out there want to try this and see what happens, if you text One-Eyed Willie to 44321, and I'm pretty sure this will work because I tried it before and hopefully it will still work, it'll take you to a giving form that I set up for Komen. So it's a way to bring people in, you got your call to action, and using text to give. Now,
text is, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, text to give works really well if you have brick and mortar or if you have physical events or if you have places where people are going to be on their phones. But it also can work, text to give, text to sign up, I'm using those interchangeably, but we're talking about email. But text to sign up works really well on social media apps because we're on our phone. So I see it on Twitter a lot. I know Moms Demand Action. That's how I signed up for their email list, because I saw a tweet that said text enough to, 4401 whatever. And then you go to a form, you get a text message, and then you are either asked to give your email or you go to a form to give your email. It's not collecting people's phone numbers so you can text them. That's a completely different type of service and a completely different type of software. This is just a way that you can grab that attention, and like when someone's curious and when someone, you're getting them where they are, which is on their phones. And when you have their attention, it's a really simple and easy way to get them where they are. It's just another tool in your toolbox. And I've seen it used on Instagram as well, because we're on our phones using Instagram, 99.9% of us, and there really is no clickable link unless I go out to your bio. So it's all part of a mindset shift that we have to make, making things incredibly absurdly easy for people to do, and then also really analyzing and thinking about where are they, what are their behaviors, and they're on their phones. Like, you guys are all you're probably on your phone right now, and if you're watching this on your desktop, your phone is right next to you. So
now I'm going to touch on what Rachel just said. Good point. So free text to give apps are ones that will text back a link of your choice. The ones that automatically donate $10 or whatever from your phone account are very expensive. Yes. And you don't want to use that second one because it's being donated from their bill. You're not getting any donor information. So what's the point of having that conversion? It's just a transaction then. It's not any sort of donor stewardship. So yes, it's not a native text and here's the money going through. It's and Kristen is asking how to get the phone numbers to text. It's with the platform that you set up.
You're not getting the phone numbers. So you are see what Josh has here. You are just giving them this flyer or this graphic or this poster, or you're putting out the information, and then they are giving their phone numbers to that third party, that platform. So as far as I know, you don't get the phone numbers unless you signed up for a platform where you're then going to be texting them back. So this is just simply sending them to an email sign-up form. So there's multiple levels. I know QGive does this. Neon One is probably going to develop some kind of tool for this.
We're talking about Tim.
Yeah, if anybody has a tool that they like to use, that they recommend, please put it in the comments. I'm always looking for different tools to explore. But what I'm talking about is like Constant Contact has this service where you can generate this text number, text One-Eyed Willie to 44321 via Constant Contact or via MailChimp. ConvertKit has it as well. So it's specifically designed to build your email list. That's what we were talking about.
All right, let's move on.
Let's move it. Let's move on.
Share upon joining. All right, so this is really, really important. Mm-hmm. Just the same thing with a donation. So if I've made a donation to your organization, you should take me to a landing page where someone can share the fact that they just made a donation to your organization. Why? Mm-hmm. They feel good about that. I just took, my time to support XYZ organization. I want to let others know. Why? Because we're all, and we can admit it or not, we're all vain in some sense, so we want others to know that we're supporting an organization. But what's better is that you're actually providing them with a social graphic, or you're supplying them with a tweet with the copy, so it makes it simple. Literally, all they have to do is click this button to tweet it, or click this button to share. So just the same thing as donations. If you join this organization, you're joining the adventure. I'm ready to begin my adventure. I'm not signing up for a newsletter. I'm going to let others know that this is an organization I care about. I'm going on an adventure. Hey, maybe you should think about going on an adventure with them too.
Yep. That's all I would add. I love it. People get super excited when they sign up for an email list or when they donate. So just make sure the redirect page that they land on has the option for them to spread the word further.
Perfect. Let's move on.
We have one left?
We have live streaming as our last one.
Yay, well, that makes sense.
As we're doing here today, we're live streaming to you all. So simple things that you can do. So for one, right now we have in the comments here a pinned comment where we have you're taking to a URL that we're providing the collaborative notes documents. What we can also do, and Julia will probably do after the broadcast, is she'll pin a comment with a link to her ebook, so you can sit there, go to the URL, download her ebook, and then Thanks, Courtney.
Yeah.
And then she's capturing the lead generation information that way. So live streaming is a huge, huge tool for your organization. Just what we're doing here today, we're providing professional development to all of our fellow nonprofit nerds out there. But think about ways from a live streaming perspective that you can further drive your organization. So for Komen, once again, I'm in that mission mindset. That's my world I live in. Yes, it's communications, but first and foremost, I want people to know and understand what we're doing here at Komen and how we're helping to save lives. So about once a month or so, and we're going to pin that comment right now to the top. All right, so Julia's comment is now pinned there in the comments. You can click on that link. She's now doing email list lead gen using that, and you can do that.
Using an ebook about email lead gen.
It's brilliant. So what we do is we'll have our executive director. She'll sit down with radiologists. She sits down with researchers at local universities, and we'll conduct a 15 to 20-minute live interview on a topic that's relevant. Usually, if there's a story that breaks in a recent research, this is the sort of stuff that we want to drive first and foremost to our constituents and potential donors. That's how we use live streaming a lot. Also, during our annual Race for the Cure, we had complete crisis mode activated. The night before, weather's not looking good. We have a 10,000-person outdoor event the next morning. We're on site at 3:30 in the morning. Well, we've got 50 degrees and constant persistent rain. Well, that's not good for an event. So we were using both Facebook Messenger from a customer service standpoint that day, as well as live streaming to do live up-to-dates throughout the event, so people can know, hey, it's it may be raining, it may be cold, but we're still out here battling breast cancer. And if you can battle breast cancer, you can handle a little rain. And that's kind of like the messaging we took that day, and it was great. We saw a tremendous success, raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, was able to really provide that community networking resource that is what the Race for the Cure is all about. And it was a tremendous event, and it was because of live streaming that we were able to constantly push that message out there.
Yes. So when I think about live streaming to build an email list, I think of the New York Public Library. They do it very well, and they go live from specific events at the library, and then in the caption they say, make sure you don't miss another event, or if you would like to learn more about the work we do at the New York Public Library, sign up here. So they edit the caption afterwards, and then they put it in the comments so that anyone that's commented or watched it live or watched the replay will see it. So they're actively using their live stream to build their list. And then another way is what I did, which I really need to be better about, but really leveraging this attention, because it's just like I said before, if you have someone's attention, they can just go away. They might go away. They might watch the video. They might go to your website. They might read your blog. They might see you on Facebook, and then you'll never hear from them again, and you won't be able to capture their information. So be actively and strategically looking for ways to pull them in to your email list so that you can kind of keep track of them, and you can communicate with them on a more consistent and a more regular basis. The whole point here is to have multiple touch points with people, so that if you have a campaign going on, they're going to see your message at least one time, maybe 2 times. People say you have to see something 7 times before you remember it. But having multiple touch points and multiple ways that people can learn about your impact and get evidence of your accomplishments. And then the number 2 way I think that charities can use live streaming, you can add the donate button to your live stream. If you are registered with Facebook's tools, you can do this with YouTube as well. You can add a donate button to the live stream, and individuals can raise money for you during live videos, or your page can add the donate button and raise money during your live video. So there we have it. We have the 10 ways to build your email list, which are amazing, and I don't even have the full recap of them. They were email pop-up box, free download on the website, Facebook contests, social cards, YouTube videos, LinkedIn, Instagram, text to join, share on joining, and live stream broadcasts.
That's good. I'm impressed you just ripped that off.
Yay! Well, you know me. I've got my notes. I've got my binders. I've got all that stuff.
You're so prepared.
All right, so do we want to go for questions?
We do.
We're at the 45-minute mark.
Before we jump into the questions, if this is your first time joining us, or if you've come back time and time again, we are the Nonprofit Social Media Nerds. please check out that URL, nonprofitsocialmedianerds.com. It'll actually take you to a Facebook group that Julia and I manage. It's on Nonprofit Social Digital Storytelling.
Thanks, Tracy.
And check it out. We would certainly hope that you join that group. There's about 5,500 plus of us social media nerds in there that are using social media to drive missions, using social media to drive fundraising, better tell our organization's story. So now let's go to some questions. So the first one we're going to have here is from Sophie Penny. Sophie says, how do you build an audience to begin with? Facebook ads. Well, the first thing I would do is, obviously on your website, if you have that pop-up box, that little light box, that's a great way to build not only leads, but warm leads, people that you can then bring in to run social ads with. I wouldn't necessarily use Facebook ads to generate a list because you're not able to necessarily pull out their email address that way. You could use Facebook ads to build a constituent group for social, but not necessarily build a constituent group to communicate with off of social, if that makes sense.
I use Facebook ads to drive traffic to my ebooks. So that can work.
Okay. That makes sense.
If it's strategic. So what I have done to grow both my Facebook audience and my email list is I have uploaded my email list back when it was half the size that it is now. And you can upload your emails. You can make custom audience in Facebook. And then you can run a targeted ad to people that are a lookalike audience. So I've noticed some success with that. I mean, what I struggle with is just the tracking of the ad to the ebook to, purchasing something. But as long as people are either getting on my list, it depends on your goals as well. So one thing that you need to do, because this question, I mean, how do you build an audience from scratch is a huge question. But one thing to do is really define your goal. Because what are you trying to do with this audience? What do you want them to do? And that's going to really help you focus on the kind of content that you're targeting to them and the type of audience that you're seeking. So are you looking for donors? Are you looking for advocates or volunteers? I mean, it just depends completely on who you're looking for and what you want them to do. But it is a marathon, and it's not a sprint. It's just consistency, showing up and showing up and showing up. And that's how, I feel like that's how I built my audience. Yeah.
All right, so next question we have here from Crystal. Crystal says, we struggle with the balance of live streaming information updates from the sanctuary to posting videos to YouTube where we are monetized. Any advice on the balance? I would take all your live streaming videos and put them on YouTube as well.
That's what I do. I'm going to do that after this.
And thanks to everyone who's liking our Nonprofit Social Media Nerds page. We kind of just had that page set up as a holder. It's more about joining the group. The group is really where we drive the content. But thanks to everyone who's joining the page. As far as what you're doing with your video, so as Julia said, she's going to download this video. She'll upload it to YouTube, where she can then take that iframe code, embed it on her website in the blog. Will then send out an email saying, "Hey, check out this great, Facebook."
Did you miss it? Here's a replay.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're taking one piece of content and you're repurposing it 4 or 5 different ways. Not only are you repurposing it 4 or 5 different ways, but you can reshare that content. And I'm going to give another shout out to our buddy Chris Strub, who's an amazing live streamer, is really known as the Giving Day guy, and he just did Give Day St. Louis, where they raised over $2 million. I'll have to check with Sarah Willie to see how they did.
I think they were at 3.
Did they get up to 3?
Yeah.
Awesome. So we had him on Nonprofit Social Media Nerds a few months ago talking about live streaming, giving days, and things like that. So took that, put it on a blog. He has reshared that post almost weekly. And there's nothing wrong with that, because why? We know the audience that's going to see your posts time and time again aren't going to be the same. Our attention span is like that. And there's nothing wrong with repurposing good content. How do we know that content's good? Because we're looking at our analytics to drive our content calendar.
Yep. Crystal brought up a really good point, that if you do a lot of Facebook ads or you do a huge Facebook acquisition campaign, they might not necessarily translate into donors, because getting donors via social media, that's a whole different topic and a whole different subject and a whole different ball of wax. getting people to like you on Facebook is hard. Getting people to take an action on your behalf on Facebook is harder. Getting people to give you money on Facebook is next to impossible. I mean, it can be done. But just there's tiers. So the first tier is getting a like. The second tier I always think is getting a download or watching a video, getting on your email list, creating that second tier of relationship with the person. But no, brand new Facebook followers are not going to give you money. They don't know you yet. They don't trust you. You haven't built affinity with them. So you have to take some time to do that community building. Facebook groups are a great place to do that. And I know, just speaking from our experience in the Facebook group, it's like free market research for me. It's amazing what the questions people are asking and the struggles that they're having and the advice that they're sharing and the resources going around. And it gives me such great information to then write blog posts and create videos. And my whole second book is honestly based on a lot of the conversations and the content that was generated in that group and what people are struggling with. So, having that separate community where you can really engage and interact with people and truly connect them to other resources, that could be an option. That's another, Facebook groups is another whole video for us.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of videos for us, and we're going to wind it down now.
Yes, we're going to wind it down.
We are back next week, which is something we haven't done in a while. Not only are we back next week, but we're continuing this conversation about email to e-newsletters. So we've given you 10 great tools to capture leads. Now what to do with them? How are you going to communicate them? We have an incredible guest next week, and we are so fortunate to have the amazing John Hayden join us.
John Hayden!
Yeah.
Yay!
I know. I can't wait as well. John is phenomenal. John is also one of the keynote speakers at Planet Philanthropy, where Julie and I will be the second week of June. I think it's June 16th we'll be there.
June 16 and 17. Where's my June calendar?
Yes.
No, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yes.
16, 17, 18.
So not only will John Hayden be joining us next week, John Hayden is going to be a keynote speaker on Sunday, Father's Day at Planet Philanthropy. Julie and I will be doing 3 stories, and our buddy Chris Strubb just joined us. It's because he knew we were talking about him.
Hi, Chris.
Chris, we were talking about...
Chris, how much did you guys raise?
Chris, how much was raised during Give Day St. Louis?
Yay.
But Chris, what we were saying is something that you do great is about repurposing content, and we were giving you a shout out about that. So thanks for joining in, Chris. You just missed a shout out a few minutes too late.
I know. We were literally just talking about him. His ears were burning. But yeah, so make sure you guys join us next week for John Hayden, because we're going to take everything we learned today and he's going to turn it into, well, what do you do? How do you keep people on your list? How do you inspire them? How do you activate them? How do you write great email newsletters for your donors? And John Hayden he'll definitely talk about it next week. He recently just recovered almost fully from a bout with cancer, and he'd been taking a lot of time off, and I am just so excited to see him kind of getting back on the horse and getting back in the game, and he always has such incredible insights. So make sure you join us next week. Make sure you download the ebook and join the Facebook group. That's way too many calls to action for one Facebook Live, but do all the things. And I don't know if we should probably wrap it up.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up now.
We could talk all day about this.
That's because we're nerds. We're nonprofit social media nerds. Thanks everybody for joining in. Don't forget to check us out online, nonprofitsocialmedianerds.com. I'm Josh, and you are.
Oh, Julia, sorry. I'm reading the comments. 10 Facebook Live videos across 12 hours. It's amazing.
Hi, Julia.
Oh, my God. I'm Julia Campbell, and I would love to see you next week. I'd love to see you in the group. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Direct message me, email me. I'm here. And just have a fantastic weekend, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.